old when we moved to Teesside. So, and then I went through my schooling there, so I was like, where am I actually from? So that led to a lot of unknowns in my life. Where do I belong? What is my purpose? And like, what am I actually kind of doing on this earth? And it wasn't actually until last September until I felt like, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be. And the place I was supposed to be was Lincoln. Little did I know, many years ago, when we come on holiday, without even like considering that I would go to university here. So some main challenges in my life, other than my lack of purpose, was my anxiety, my depression. I'd say the hardest years of my entire life were 2021, 2022. 2021 consisted of my first breakup, but it was also the year that I got baptized. 2022 consisted of not being able to leave the house by myself because I was so anxious. At the age of 18, that doesn't make sense, it's embarrassing, and it sucks. And I was like, I'm supposed to go to the other side of the world by myself in my gap year at the end of this year. What am I supposed to do? But throughout the whole year, despite everything, I knew I was going to go, because I knew that if it was God's purpose in my life, I would go to South Africa, and there was going to be some kind of reason why I had to be there. Because I hadn't been up until then since 2018 because of COVID and everything that happened. And I was the only Christian in my friendship group at school throughout my whole life. I'd never had a Christian friendship group. And the Christian friendship group I had for a short amount of time was my ex's friends. So that after we broke up, it was just like, okay, well, no Christians actually want to be friends with me. Where am I going to find these people? I went to South Africa at the end of 2022, and thank the Lord for that place. I stayed with my grandparents for the first month, which was difficult, but the rest of it was worth it. I found a small town called Wellington in the Western Cape, where my auntie and uncle and cousins live, and I now call my third home. The Lord taught me there what true friendship is like, what it means to be embodied with the Holy Spirit and true, genuine faith in the Lord no matter your circumstances. No, it wasn't the easiest 3 months, but I knew I had like a support system around me. I'd known them for a few days, and they already were like the biggest support to me that I'd ever felt other than my parents. And I don't really feel like I ever truly encountered Christ for the first time. As I said, I grew up in a Christian household. I was a missionary kid. So I think it was probably in lockdown that I truly said, you know what, Lord, I'm in it for the long haul. I want to get baptized. In lockdown is not a great time to choose that, because there was no way that I was going to get baptized during lockdown. But I knew that there was a reason, there was this desire, and the Lord would make it happen when it was supposed to happen. And I'm so glad I got baptized a year later, because by then I was single, I was in it, I had my relationship with the Lord for myself. It wasn't because of anyone else, it wasn't because of my parents, because of my ex-boyfriend, because of my church, it was truly for myself. And I think to a song and a verse that have really embodied my whole Christian walk is Oceans by Hillsong and Matthew 6:34. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough troubles of its own. And I got that tattoo here in South Africa as a way of like saying, you know what, it doesn't matter what tomorrow holds or what will happen, because the Lord is still with me. And even though it may be the worst day of my life, I know that the Lord is still with me. And there's been so many times in my life where I'm not in my healing season yet, but I know it's gonna come. And there's been so many times that I've said, I don't know what I would do if I wasn't a Christian. of non-Christians, the Lord is still there. But even when I'm at CU and when I'm at church, the Lord is still there. And truthfully, one of the churches, other than the Church of Wellington, that truly changed my whole outlook on life is Alignment Cathedral. I visited for the first time 23rd of September 2023. Yes. And I said to Fiona, the speaker there, when I went, I feel like I'm home on the very first night. And truthfully, most of my friends will tell you, I'm there more than I'm at my home. So it is basically